what do you do if you have a very limited amount of time? What kind of breaks do you take? What do you do for physical and mental health?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I was thinking about it this week. I even caught myself sitting thinking, why am I not taking a break? Why am I not doing what I tell the people on Live with Matt Rad to do, or that I do? And I think really what I've coming around to realize is, well, I do it mostly. So in times like this week, it can all go out the window, but it's kind of like riding a bicycle, where this week I'm already back to it. Like I could have done notes before this, but instead I thought, well, I'm going to take a break from work today to get my head in the game for Live with Matt Rad. And I played tennis this morning. I didn't cancel. Like last week, I canceled some things, some exercise. Like I didn't exercise as much as I usually do. I wasn't as social as I might want to be as the world was opening up. Stayed in for dinner with my girlfriend more than going out to dinner. And I love going out to dinner. I love those kind of breaks. Even if we're going to come back and work after, sometimes she brings her laptop over and she'll sit behind me on the sofa and she'll do some design work, and I'll mix. We just kind of didn't do any of that. It was like I ate really fucking fast. We had meatballs in a bowl and, went back to work, So couldn't get my head out of the game. Like didn't even have anything else to talk about except for what's being worked on. And, but you're conditioning yourself to have the routine otherwise and understand the importance of breaks. So when those heavy weeks come into play, you got the bandwidth for it. You understand that. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say that I even thought about it during the time, because I did negatively think about it. I was like, I got to take a break. I got to stand up. I got to get water. I think we talked about once where I leave my water glass in my kitchen. So I have to stand up to get water because I get thirsty pretty often. But I didn't. I had it right next to me. I had multiple glasses next to me, and I didn't take breaks. So I'm just admitting that I don't practice everything that I tell everyone to do all the time, but I do it most of the time.
Well, it's an interesting thing. It reminds me of
thanks, Omer. You're the GOAT as well.
Yeah, Omer's having a hell of a couple of years. Everybody says such great things about him.
He's a big goat. He's like if a goat was around for 10 years and got fat, like a really fat big goat.
Can you call him a fat goat? I like that. When people talk about I talk about this a lot with people who are doing meditation, and oftentimes it takes people a few tries to get into a habit of meditation, because of course with something like meditation, people start doing it because they're like, I'm anxious, I feel bad, and so they start meditating, and then a week into meditating they go, I feel so much better, and then they stop meditating. But that's a very common thing, or exercise or health or whatever. Once you start feeling a little better, you just go, I don't really need this, or you prioritize other things because you're not stressing it out as much. But of course, the habit of doing it is part of what keeps you going through the times that are tough. So if you're in great spirits and you have a regular exercise meditation routine and you're healthy and you're good, when things get stressful and things get tough, having that basically being primed or having those habits being built for your mental health helps you through the times that are tough. So I equate that to what we're talking about with habits of taking breaks. When you're in a good flow but you're also being really good about taking breaks, you're working hard, you have a good routine. When things get to crazy crunch time, the next week, the fact that you've been in a good routine can help you when you don't have the ability to do the same sort of break routine and exercise routine and all that. So it was actually doing all these things is so important. Yeah,
because it was actually interesting, because for me, I don't think I required it as much, because I felt the true sense of the flow, right? Like I got through mixes really fast, and I don't feel like I was skimping on anything. Like they just got done and people were happy. Some of them are super low improv numbers. Like I felt at my best in a sense. I felt like my breaks and my routine was a rehearsal for that type of week. Where I felt overwhelmed a couple of times, but that was part of it, and I used that to inform and nourish my amount of focused hours, I guess.
Yeah, good routines, whether it's breaks, whether it's whatever your habits are, having them through challenging times and easy times is really the measure of consistency and will help you the most.
Because also, let's be real. I mean, I was excited about it. There was nothing about it that I didn't want to partake in. It was all things that I wanted to do, things that I said yes with, with flying colors. Like there was nothing about it that was, I got to do this. There were a couple of bad bad edits and, things like that have to be sorted. But yeah, exactly. I love that. You're just raising your headroom. Exactly. I consider all of that. And back to, you brought up meditation. There was one day where I didn't. And I think I don't know, I didn't get to tell you about this, but I mean, I think you knew that I hit 2 years every day in a row.
Yep.
And I've missed one. Like since that, I think I've missed one day of not doing it. But what I thought about that day was I didn't do it on the application. So it's not tracked. Like the streak isn't there, but I was mindful during the day at some point. Like I knew the practice is so consistent where there was a moment of reflection and focus on breath. And there was a moment of, and I'm sure that the entire day of work or the entire week of work was meditative because there was so much deliberate focus on little things. And I
love that.